Two more games to come for you here in Stage 2, Reds Bar, the Kazoo UK Open. It will conclude the outer board action, if you like, because tomorrow everything is going to be on the main stage. Now, whatever combination of players we get going through from these final two games, they're going to be names. It's not going to be that much of a surprise, with Johnny Clayton against Damon Heta to round things off, and Michael Smith taking on Mensur Suljovic here. All of them PDC title winners, all bar Heta, major finalists, but Damon Heta is playing absolutely stunning darts at the minute. The shocks have come in the opening games with Keen Barry and Sebastian Białecki, the two teenagers booking their place in the last 8. They could be in the final tomorrow. That's a possibility. Win 140 grand and spend a lot on fizzy pop and pogs. Whatever it is the kids are buying nowadays. And it's a chorus of happy birthday for Mensur Suljovic, because, well, we've had a couple of 19-year-olds through. Mensur today has reached the ripe old age of 50 years old. Welcome to eligibility for the World Seniors, Mensur Suljovic. Who needs that, though, when you're throwing world-class darts with major titles on the proper senior circuit on the line? He was brilliant earlier on in beating Nenches with 100 average. He'd seen off Kim Ibrex, a man in form, before that one, but can he now beat the world finalist Michael Smith, who's been pretty impressive already this weekend? Paul Nicholson.
Yeah, he's going to have to come through someone who has averaged over 100 for the tournament to date. But schöner Geburtstag to Mr. Suljovic. It's not every day you celebrate your birthday playing in a massive event like this. But Smith looking to be the party pooper. Looking to take out his third different nationality of player in this tournament. He's been pretty good. Averages of 101.66 against Chris Dobie. That was over on the main stage. And then Gabriel Clemens, the German, a little bit earlier on today on this stage. And I think that is a factor, you know. He's played on this stage already today. And Mensur Suljovic hasn't been on this stage yet.
Well, let's see how it works out. But Michael Smith, I know it was only 10-8 against Gabriel Clemens, but he just dealt with the challenge very, very well. Managed to get ahead and then was so strong on his own throw that Gabriel Clemens didn't really get a look in that match, despite only losing it by a couple of legs. And he is first to a finish, Michael Smith. I can tell you that over on the main stage we have had a 9-darter. It is a 9-darter involving a game with Mr. James Wade. But it's been hit by Wadey for a change.
The 9-dart magnet.
He is.
99.
Second 9-darter of the weekend. Jose Justicia hit one yesterday.
95.
That's number 14 in the tournament in its history. There were 12 before this weekend. But usually that is a bit of a kiss of death.
Nearly had another one, of course. Saw Devon Peterson miss the double for a 9-darter on this board this afternoon.
69.
Should be treble 15 for Michael. And he's gone 19s. Interesting.
49.
Seemed to be a bit of shoulder in that last one from Michael Smith and Mensur Suljovic. Bullseye first? Is that where we're looking, Mensur? He loves a bullseye. Ooh, 17. It's okay. Treble 14 it'll be. Does not get a shot.
51. Michael required 20.
Well, I said earlier that Michael Smith is the best double 10 shooter in the world, and he's done me a favour there by backing my statement up. He could do himself a favour by getting out of the blocks against Mensur here. But we do know that no matter what the deficit, Mensur will fight to the end.
58.
Well, we've had an Irishman, a Pole, and we will have a third different nationality win through to the quarterfinals on this board. In fact, we're going to have 4 different nationalities, aren't we? Because it's Australia versus Wales in our final game here. So it'll have a real mix of nationalities going into the final day from stage 2.
92.
Really, really even head-to-head record between these two. Played 21 times. There was a draw in there. Mensur just shades it 11-9 in their dead stats. On TV, it's 5-4 Mensur with a draw in there as well.
Yeah, they haven't played in a while as well, a couple of years now.
Yeah, I mean, Mensur, of course, he hasn't played that much, has he? He's sort of went missing, weren't sure if he was going to come back. Delights for everybody that he is.
Yeah, that was news that really worried me. I don't like when elite players like Mensur, players like him who have influenced people's careers, start talking about maybe not coming back. The pandemic had its effect on Mensur Suljovic, that's for sure. But boy, am I glad he's back.
112.
Well, Mensur, one treble required to get to a double. And he can't find it.
Well, Michael Smith would have gone for treble 18 on that second dart after blocking the 60. I would have left double 19, but this is not going to go. Just trying to find the 60 from the angle. It does. That's a great shot. So Suljovic is going to go for whatever he wants, really. He always changes his mind on certain things. If he could lead double 14 from 52, he would have, but going double 12 probably wasn't the best plan.
Well, I'm interested to see whether he does go to 14s as often, because obviously, famously, it was his go-to double. He'd start on it at the Grand Prix, he would leave it wherever possible, but he moved away from it a little bit, and perhaps through lack of practice, because he wasn't leaving it so much, he didn't remain as deadly on it as he used to be. Because he wasn't as deadly, he left it even less.
98.
But what we have seen from Mensur so far this weekend is that he's still got it. He's still got the magic.
One thing that Michael Smith could possibly learn from Mensur as well is that, yes, you do need a little bit of fortune to get yourself a first title. Mensur got that in the International Darts Open in 2016, which incredibly is 5.5 years ago. Kim Huybrechts let that one slip, and Mensur started hoovering stuff up afterwards. But in order to get your first TV title, I know he still classifies Shanghai as a TV title, but a lot of people don't.
96.
But if you look at what Suljovic did to get the Champions League, that 160 checkout against Raymond van Barneveld, that was anything but luck. That was just wizardry.
And look, people might go, oh yeah, Champions League of darts. I mean, it was only 8 players. I mean, it was the top 8 in the world. And yeah, it was a relatively short-lived tournament. But are you going to ignore the fact that Mensur Suljovic also made the final of the match play and was only beaten by the narrowest of margins in the longest and highest quality match play final we have ever seen? Mensur Suljovic match play champion very, very nearly happened, and that certainly does put his name down in the history as a great.
The greatest match that I've never watched, because I was driving home after commentating on the first half of the radio, so I heard it, and it sounded incredible.
Certainly was. Mensur Suljovic misses a dart to go into the lead. That's so high. I mean, he smiles about that. Good guide, Michael Smith. Yeah, use that one.
You go down any local team and they do that, that's exactly what they're going to say. Hell of a guide. It just did break a bit of the tension there for Michael Smith, who showed us those pearly whites.
1 up, 1 in.
How about 3 in? Nothing up, 3 in.
Well, that's the first maximum for Michael Smith. You're expecting more. Certainly against Gabriel Clemens. Took him a little while to get going, but once he did, he started hitting the maximums on a regular basis, and it was a big part of him
96.
securing the victory.
Suljovic was in a tiniest spot of bother against Nenches in the last round. He was 6-3 down, so if he does find himself at a deficit going into the break, he won't panic, because after his break with Nenches a little bit earlier, he went ballistic, getting 5 legs in succession. At some point in this match, he might need something of that ilk to get rid of Bully Boy.
57.
14 PDC titles for Michael Smith, 7 for Mensur. He's not a hugely prolific title winner, Mensur Suljovic, but he
54.
certainly prolific in TV tournaments in picking up wins. Another. Oh, doesn't need to, so double top.
110.
Yeah, good game awareness, certainly more aware than I was there, Michael Smith. No need to go 20 and bull.
Not only the best double 10 shooter for me, but maybe the best treble 10 hitter as well. Talk about Rob Cross loving the 54.
20.
Michael Smith loves the 30. Oh, he's missed it this time.
10.
And this could get a bit squidgy.
92.
Well, Mensur went for the treble 17 on 91. You would think he's going to go treble 20 on 92, but maybe he will go the bull, because Mensur has his own roots. 10 or a 6.
That is beautiful. And after that brilliant first, I just got stopped there because he's apologised for doing that. Why? I'm never going to get that, you know. And
No.
he does it more than anybody.
Oh, that's our first Mensur chastising himself, dragging that one into the skinny 5.
44.
If you got the old Mensur Suljovic bingo card, then the Mensur is one. The little dying swan thing he does with his hands is another. Double headbutt celebrations another.
We don't see that as often as we used to.
Well, we
though.
haven't seen Mensur for as often as we would like.
It got to the stage once in Mülheim in Germany. I think it was maybe in 2017, where he was up against Michael van Gerwen, and we were counting the amount of headbutt celebrations in a weekend. I remember it being 22.
Yeah, there was a lot.
133.
Mentioned Mensur's habit of going deep in big TV tournaments and picking up ranking money, which has secured his places in the rankings. Astonishingly, if he wins this game, it'll be 20 major quarterfinals. I mean, that is some haul. Would have been difficult to find the bullseye after that
60.
second dart if it had found the treble 19. Mensur does get a look at the 140. That's all it is, a look.
All he can do is leave tops now.
60.
Can't even do that one.
72.
So Smith will go 16s here to try and get the lead back. Double 12.
66.
He saw the camera go to the player there,
80.
and he was on the walk on dart 3 again.
Double 10. The Austrian leads for the first time in this contest. It's the first break of throw.
Did you see Michael Smith turn away as soon as he hit the 60? As if to say, I know you're going to hit it. Well, Suljovic is just inside the top 32 now. He has been inside the top 10, which he firmly deserved at one point. But he is provisionally 28th for after this tournament right now. If he was to win this tournament, he would go back up to 14th.
140.
Well, it would be some story to see Mensur Suljovic in the final session of action in the final, or go and win this, because, as I say, there were genuine concerns that we might not see him again at all. It was a relief to see him turn up at the World Cup for Austria last year and help guide them to their first ever final at the tournament.
Judging by the way that Suljovic can play and is playing,
140.
and we know that Roby John Rodriguez is doing some good stuff as well, who's to say they can't go one better this year?
Well, absolutely.
That's a title that Michael Smith hasn't got either.
Well, these two have played at the World Cup on more than one occasion.
82.
The last time they met was at the World Cup a couple of years ago, and Mensur averaged 110 in a 4-3 win against Michael Smith.
140.
Suljovic has had a look, like you said, Dan, at a 140 earlier on. Can he get more than a look this time? Just the look on this second occasion, but he is going to leave tops on this occasion, which is a little bit more of an improvement to last time. 81 turns it to 24. Vital misses in this leg and the last one, giving Suljovic chances.
Well, Mensur Suljovic is 3 out of 4 on the doubles. Make that 4 out of 5.
7 leg is Michael to throw first. Game on. 108.
What is it about red and black, by the way, for your main course tonight? Because if this is a 4-course meal tonight, you've had the fish course, the starter, but there's a red and black shirt here, red and black shirt at the back of the yoki, and you're going to get red and black in the next game as well between Clayton and Heta. Wow. Wow! 3 in the leg so far. Can we get 4?
It is all red being hit by these two at the minute. This is a perfect leg. Oh, finally, black is hit, but Michael Smith, the 141. It is on. It's still on. And there it's in. A 9-darter on the main stage from James Wade. A 9-darter on stage 2 from the bully boy, Michael Smith.
Sensational. What a leg. From not only Michael Smith, but also from Suljovic, who threw 6 darts and left 181. Didn't even get a look at that 181. Monumental standard. Wow, that's got Reds buzzing.
It has. And I really, really hope that there's someone here in Reds Bar that was made aware. Maybe they got an alert on their phone, or their mate was on the main stage and they've gone, oh, you've got to stage 2, we just had a 9-darter, ha 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 ha, and they get to send a message right back to him.
Is that the first time we've ever had 3 9-darters in one UK Open? It has to be.
100.
Pass. Give me a minute, I'll figure it out. I mean, I really hope there isn't somebody who got a message saying there was a 9-dart on the main stage, so they headed over there and then missed that one.
I would just laugh at that.
Yeah, I mean, again, funny, which is the most important thing.
That's England getting the 9-darters tonight, that's for sure.
60.
It was Spain who got one yesterday, and last year it was Poland and the Netherlands.
140.
Well, now we've got a game on, haven't we? Michael Smith. Look, he'd suffered disappointment. He'd missed double 12 in both the previous legs. And it's allowed Mensur Suljovic to get his nose in front in this one. But he has roared back into this contest.
You know what makes me laugh as well is the fact that the camera went to double 12
75.
because he already knew.
Yeah, of course he'll hit
was
the
gonna get hit.
57. Of course he will.
156 for Suljovic for 5-3. The 9-darter is history. Oh, that's close. But Smith, if he wants to be in front at the break, must hit this.
Staying on the 20s. Now the ball. And Michael Smith has levelled the game up. What a contest. These two have had some right ding-dong battles over the years. I said it's very, very even in their head-to-head records. They've had some very, very close games. A famous one at the match play that went to extra legs and Michael Smith nicked it 14-12. This one could go deep.
It's probably a good thing that we've only got 2 matches left on this stage, Dan, because my voice is hanging by a thread. So let's take it to the limit, shall we? Because this guy here, with the freshly trimmed beard and a very sharp-looking bonnet, I might add, he can do anything on this dartboard. Anything!
You're watching 2 fabulous exponents of their craft.
108.
What a 180 that was. Left, middle, right.
Oh, that's the old school 180.
Yeah, that's off stump, middle stump, leg stump. Unbelievable.
That's one of those that Chris Mason is going, well, you had to hit them like that in the old days, with the big wires and the staples.
How about another? Till he won. or 181. When he left 181 after 6, he didn't get a look at it.
135.
But he's withstood the 9, and of course that is now just something that happened. It's all about what happens next.
100. Mensur require 46.
Yeah, it's only worth one leg. That's it. And that is an excellent leg of darts from Mensur Suljovic, 11 darter. And notably there, Mensur going for double 16. If he wanted, he could have left that double 14. He always said that he uses double 14 when he needs it, when he's under pressure. Now there he wasn't under pressure, Michael Smith, and I think maybe that's wise. It breaks down much more beneficially, the 16 to 8 to 4 to 2 to 1. But if you know that it's got to go in that visit, you might get 1 or 2 darts, that's when he still might go to that double 14.
He tends to leave it towards the end of a close match. He did so when he won in Vienna against Michael van Gerwen on home soil, which for me is right up there. In fact, I will stick my neck out. It's the best European Tour event I've ever been to. It was amazing.
The double 14 for Mensur Suljovic is like the finishing move for a wrestler. It is double 14 to Mensur Suljovic is as the tombstone is to the Undertaker. He saves it at the end, the coup de grace.
That's a very good analogy, actually. It's the RKO from Randy Orton, the Stone Cold Stunner from the Austrian ace.
140.
We're going to be referencing wrestling tonight.
No, I usually leave that to you, but I thought I'd get in there early.
Although I did get touchdown in for, I think it was Jules Van Dongen, wasn't it, when he won?
Well, Michael Smith looking to tie this one up at 5 apiece to leave it delicately poised going into the second session of the match.
I almost want this to be deadlocked at 5-5 because this one is tantalising the taste buds to the max. 57.
92.
It was a bit reachy that last dart, but it was accurate. This would be a game changer. Where's he looking? 60?
60 ball, double 16, I think, for Mensur. Or is it treble 14? Well, he did make what I believe to be the sensible decision, which is not often the case with Mensur Suljovic.
110.
It's double 16 again. If Smith slips up, he's in for the kill. Oh, and he goes for the marker and overshoots it. Suljovic with a great chance for a 2-leg gap.
The Austrian ace wants double 8. But for the first time in this match, Mensur Suljovic misses 3 darts at double. And Michael Smith does not miss this time around. This contest is enthralling. We have got one of the biggest scorers in the game. We've got one of the most reliable finishers in the game. We've had a 9-darter. They're both averaging up towards 100, and they are deadlocked at 5 apiece. The first of 10 legs reaches the quarterfinals of the Kazoo UK Open, and we still have no clue who it's going to be. Mensur Suljovic 5, Michael Smith 5, first to 10 reaches the quarterfinals of the Kazoo UK Open. We have already seen a 9-darter just moments after a 9-darter was hit on the main stage by James Wade, who's involved in a real tussle with the gigantic Croatian Boris Kričmar. We've already seen 2 teenagers, one from Poland, one from Ireland, reach the last 8. Danny Noppert, the number 3 from the Netherlands, has beaten the number 2 from the Netherlands in Dirk van Dijvenbode to reach the quarterfinals as well. But it is too close to call in this one. Mensur Suljovic, his finishing has been excellent, apart from 3 darts missed in that last leg before the break. How important will those misses prove to be in about 20 minutes' time?
James Wade has beaten Boris Kričmar, so Wadey's title defence continues into Sunday. And he's never won it here, but he's won it in 2 other venues It's only been played in 3 venues. He could collect a set tomorrow.
Well, we were talking in the break between intervals about unbeaten runs at this particular tournament. Raymond van Barneveld managed to defend the trophy successfully and then reached the semi-finals the following year. We think that's the longest run. Phil Taylor did defend it once, but then went out early the next time. Michael van Gerwen defended it once, missed a year because he was injured, but then went out early the following year.
56.
So if James Wade were to go and successfully defend this title and be a 4-time UK Open winner and a back-to-back UK Open winner, then he's going to be putting himself in that sort of bracket for longest unbeaten runs at this tournament.
Not to mention getting massive distance between himself and Michael van Gerwen in the rankings.
Well, James Wade and Michael Smith are in a bit of a battle.
58.
Smith could overtake Wade in the rankings, move up to world number 3. That would be pushing Michael van Gerwen down to number 5 in the world.
I didn't think we were going to be talking about this a few months ago. But the world rankings are getting a lot of column inches at the minute, which is not a bad thing, because over the last 15 years, they haven't been.
Mensur go 116.
Now, what do you fancy, Mensur? 419s or 420s?
I think it'll be the 20s. Doesn't really get that close.
56.
So Michael Smith will be looking at the 12 segment.
I was going to say, if that flight wasn't there, we would have seen it, but even with the flight in the way, I would have stumped up a fair few coins that was in. You ever seen a dart player do that exhibition shot with a piece of paper over the board?
Yes. Yes, I have.
They love doing that because they always know where things are. They've looked at dartboards for years.
108.
Michael Smith could hit 180s with paper over the board. He's that good.
Well, it was the second half of the game against Gabriel Clemens this afternoon on this board where Michael Smith really impressed me in controlling the game. He got ahead and he was so strong on his own throw that he just did not give Gabriel Clemens any opportunities to get back into the match. If he could force a break of throw here, get himself 7-5 up, then Mensur Suljovic has an enormous task to try and stop Michael Smith from progressing through to the quarterfinals.
I've shared practice rooms with Michael Smith on many occasions, and he's terrific company. He did something in Dortmund in 2018 when we were at the European Championship, which was, funnily enough, won by James Wade. He had a 9-darter in practice, and then we all watched him try to get another one straight after, and he missed double 12. Sickening ability.
All 100. 167.
Well, a 167 would provide the break, and he can't quite get it. But he does leave himself very nicely placed to hoist Mensur Suljovic by his own double 14 petard if he fails to take the 105.
This is massive. Oh, hello.
91.
Salt in the wound now if Michael Smith hits it.
28.
Whisper it, but he's not as deadly on double 14 as he used to be, Mensur Suljovic, you know. And he finds himself 7-5 down. Michael Smith with the darts in his hand will feel similar to how he felt this afternoon against Gabriel Clemens. The game is where he wants it. Be strong on his own throw. Pile in those big scores like he did all the way through the World Championship, like he's done for the vast majority of his career. And he can close this game out without too much stress.
You know what I've always said, Dan, about the single leading up to a double? When you hit the middle, it's always a good sign. But if you look at that single 17 in Mensur Suljovic, it wasn't a good one.
It wasn't.
He did miss the double 14 by just the wire. Fine margins when you're playing the elite, of which Michael Smith is definitely part to that. It's a good number, 310. 140 to leave 170. You'll always fancy leaving 130. But one treble visit, Still gives himself a very healthy advantage. It's going to be a really interesting 4 months, Dan, because it was around about this time 2 years ago where the pandemic hit. There's nothing in ranking money to defend for people over the next 4 months until we get to late June when we had that summer series in Milton Keynes, which was surreal for all of us. So the world rankings are taking front and centre right now.
Yeah, and I know that we did have a lot of events on during the pandemic, all things considered, 2 years ago. As Michael Smith looks at 17 and double top. Yeah, really good. This is exactly what he would have expected from himself. Coming out after the break, holding, breaking, holding. He is in charge of this contest. But as I say, yeah, we did have, it was an incredible feat of organisation and planning to provide the events that we had. But what we didn't have was a full European Tour circuit, which is an enormous amount of money. So yes, people are defending some money from 2 years ago because events did take place, but there's an awful lot of extra money available this year. So even if you don't defend it at that particular corresponding Players' Championship event, may not matter, because there's 25 grand up for grabs at the weekend and next weekend and the weekend after that on the Euro Tour.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of jostling for position. We're already seeing Michael van Gerwen drop down the rankings. Who's going to go the other way? So much in the way of opportunity.
Well, it could be important for someone like Mensur Suljovic, who is clinging on to his spot in the top 32 in the world, but having not played an awful lot of stuff, there's no guarantee we're going to be seeing Mensur Suljovic at all the big TV tournaments this year. What he's shown this weekend is that when he is playing, he's looking good. Because he may be second best at the moment against Michael Smith, but he's played some excellent stuff so far this weekend.
120.
I was just about to say that Smith's going to bank another maximum there, but he collided with his own flight. He might have destroyed it. This leg is definitely not over yet.
64.
Only leaves the ton, and if Smith gets another 140 plus here, Suljovic is under pressure on that ton. The pain on his face as he only banks one treble.
Double top. Well, Mensur Suljovic is yet to win a leg after the break, and one treble is enough to get a dart for it, and it's bullseye. Oh, and he can't find it this time.
I mentioned the gesticulation from Mensur. It's actually Michael Smith that's doing the swan dive. Double 10. Very key shot. He's been let off the hook a little bit. It could well have been 9-5 and almost game over, but very much game on now. However, Bully Boy says, nah, I'll go back into the distance. Don't you worry about that.
Well, once again, he did this against Clemens repeatedly, hitting maximums on his own throw, and it's just making him completely impregnable to the break. And Mensur Suljovic needs them. You can't break him when he's playing like this because he's on for another 9.
Could he be the person who gets 2 9s in a game, like Taylor, like Van Gerwen? End of sentence.
Saw 2 in a night from Gerwin Price, but 2 in a game from Michael Smith? You are right to boo him, Reds Bar.
Great bants, Michael, great bants. The most important thing is the leg, whether it's in 9 or whether it's 29, because there was a leg in the world final that was close to 29. Double 8. He will be back. How many darts was that in the second leg of the contest in the world final?
It was
28, I think.
I did lose count. I thought it passed 30, but then on second thought, I think it was 28 or 29. Pub leg. Nothing pub leg about this.
Not yet, at least.
Yeah, I may have spoken too soon here.
I don't think he likes double two either, because if he hits it just underneath,
59. Markedly require.
he'll block it. That's not blocking. Double one. Could have had a 9-darter in this leg with two 180s at the start. He might lose it.
Well, this wouldn't be picking his pocket. It would have been pulling his trousers down.
70.
Real shame he didn't get the 60 because the guy was so good. There it is. 9-6. One of the strangest legs that Michael Smith will play all week.
Well, look, he did mess around on the doubles, but he could afford to because his scoring was so electrifying that he bought himself that time. And he's got a bit of time here. One more leg needed. Mensur has lost 4 of the 5 legs since the break. It was 5 apiece at the break, and it was lucky for Michael Smith to be 5 apiece at the break in the middle of the game.
What we're seeing is just good game management from Smith. Obviously against Clemens earlier, and here against Suljovic. He knows how and when to move. Great 177 from Suljovic.
60.
Gives himself breathing space in the first of 4 legs that he needs to win to get through to the quarters.
Well, with Michael Smith's scoring power, you think that he's never out of any leg. But there must be a little part of him thinking, well, next leg's the one for me.
140. Mensur required
What do you do in
95.
this spot? Do you go for the treble 19 and then you split and go for the double 16? Doesn't matter anymore. Just going to lay up for tops. If he got the treble there, he would have had double 14. But like we saw with someone a little bit earlier, just getting the singles, it was Keen Barry. Just get the singles, leave the double,
54.
back yourself
Mensur
next time.
required 40.
This will be 1 down and 3 to go if you're a Mensur Suljovic fan, and indeed Mensur himself.
Ropey attempt that. Problems?
35.
It could end right now. He's had a 9-darter. He could win it with a 170, but he can't find the first treble. He does pile all kinds of pressure on Mensur Suljovic, though. Has he got the answer to this riddle?
He's going the 1 option as opposed to 3 double 1. But it is double 1 eventually. Oh, and that was a reachy one. That one was saved by a jump on his tiptoes and the shoulder, and maybe a little assist from the other dart as well.
100.
Well, Michael Smith, when that first dart landed, his eyes lit up. But he only comes away with a ton. And that's about as much of an opportunity as you're getting against Michael Smith on throw in the second half of this game.
96.
Is this going to be the weekend where everybody shuts up and everybody stops saying, is this going to be the weekend? Is it going to be his day first?
140.
Now, he's going to have to go 18s potentially. No, he's not going to leave a finish. I'm really surprised by that.
There's various schools of thought on that. Some people think going 18s is a defensive or not an aggressive shot, but give yourself a chance, surely.
Always make sure that darts 2 and 3,
100.
particularly the third, still leave you a finish. If you get a single, 15, a 25 or an 18, it means that 2 and 3 are still possible shots to set up. I just think that that's the way to go, but that's for another time. As Suljovic goes for 127 in game, oh, that's right in the middle. Bullseye. To be 1 behind.
84.
Well, 109 is an easier checkout than 127 because 1 treble will give him a dart at the outer ring. He can't get that treble.
37.
And that's a
Mensur required 40.
frustrating decision.
I don't think that was a very good play at all. Double 16. Just glided off the right side.
11.
And he doesn't find it. And now Michael Smith looks very silly. He might only get one darted double, but he does get two.
48.
He could hit it for a 9-darter, but he's not hit it at any other point in the game, I don't think. Match darts survived by Mensur. Happy birthday, Mensur. 50 today. And a little gift there means that it's quite likely we are going to go to a last leg decider.
There is no way that we should be. It doesn't matter what happens in this leg. This match should be in the books right now. And Michael Smith, it is his fault because he had that silly little jaunt to double 16 to try and lead tops when in fact he should have gone for the treble. He did eventually get 2 darts at the double 12, and right now he looks hot under the collar. He's going to have to use all of his experience and his poise to try and just get over the line in this match.
100.
Well, there are 2 legs that Michael Smith has thrown at double 12, missed and lost both legs. I genuinely think he would trade hitting the double 12 for the 9 to have won those 2 legs.
Questionably. He's got 9 darters before. He's hit one in Dublin in front of 10,000 people. As much as everybody wants to hit one at Reds Bar at the UK Open, you want to be in the quarterfinals even more than that.
Get through to the final day, then hit all your 9 darters in the quarters and the semis and the finals. Hit loads of them. Just win this game. And it hangs in the balance. Mensur was looking dead and buried at 9-6 down. Michael Smith was in the ascendancy.
Wicked deflection off that first dart. But 164 ahead. Not for long. Michael thinks that's not a good enough leave if Suljovic fails on the 80. Just glided above that one. Oh, that was ropey. Tops. Happy birthday, Mensur. Because not only is he getting fortunate, he's finding the right shots when he has time. 1 leg shootout for the quarterfinals.
A wild first start from Michael Smith.
45.
And only 45. It's probably the worst opening visit he's had on throw in this entire match.
It doesn't matter who you are. When you're in a 1 leg shootout at this stage,
43.
you feel a little fragile. I've been in this situation against Philip Taylor.
56.
You just pray for trebles. You've got to stay in your process and breathe.
Michael Smith trying to laugh it off. It's a nervous smile on the bully boy's face.
59.
1 point in it.
I'd rather have 400 than 399. And that is an invaluable treble 20 with his 9th dart of the leg.
He'd won a leg in this amount of darts earlier on.
Yeah, 501 in 9, and here
6.
201.
Mensur Suljovic has battled and had a little slice of luck. He's got himself to this last leg decider and he's doing absolutely nothing. Neither of them are. We've had 1 big treble hit. It is agony for the pair of them.
The tension in Reds Bar right now is as thick as goat's cheese. Breathe it in as we get our first treble for Mensur. Surely he's going south here. He's going to stay up top.
100.
Game on. Halfway point of this leg.
94.
Well,
Switch.
every treble is like gold dust to these guys.
What would he give for a 139?
$99.
Still game on. Advantage Michael Smith.
Two match starts should be incoming for Michael Smith unless Mensur can conjure up this. And he cannot. The nerviest leg of the match. The nerves are not over yet either.
Two match starts missed at double 12, but it's tops. And it's in. He's got over the line and he's off for a jaunt to try and have a word with himself, but he has just about got the job done, and he is the party pooper for the man who's turned 50 today. He did have his opportunity, you have to say it. That was a pretty bad last leg, but now it's a last leg that goes in the books for Bully Boy. His quest for that elusive big title will continue. He will be in the hat for the draw at the end of the session. But if you think we're finished, think again. It is the main course or the dessert, depending on what you like, coming next. Two players on fire, Clayton and Heta next.